Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book monthly wrap-up for this month. So first off, we have Stiff by Mary Roach. This is about how cadavers have helped in science and stuff. It's a very good book. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars just because I didn't like how the author was like joking around about it a lot. She was very lighthearted on the subject of death, which I guess is good, but I didn't really like the weird quirky puns and shit she was making. I found it boring. Next up, oh, also lots of manga this month. So I read these. My Room is a Dungeon Rest Stop. I gave this one 3 stars. This is the first volume, and this is the second volume, which I gave 2 stars. It is an isekai, I believe, which is like going to another world, and I don't really like manga like that, so I don't know why I even picked it up. The art's nice in it. It's very fan servicey. It's about this guy, and he gets an apartment, and it's inside a dungeon. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's really weird. But you know, if that's your thing, there you go. The next manga I read was Shop of Horus, Volume 2. This was one of my first mangas I ever read as a kid, and I've been trying to get all the copies of it, but they're kind of hard to come by. So this is about a pet shop that sells like mythical pets, and there's always rules to them, like you have to have incense burning, you can't feed it after a certain time, you can't feed it certain foods. It's very interesting. There's 4 stories in this: Dragon, Dice, Delicious, and Destruction. One is about a turtle egg that gets switched with a dragon. One is about a kitten who is very lucky. One is about a fish, and the other one, the police officer that's in this falls asleep, or the detective or whatever he is. I don't know what he is exactly, but yeah. Next one I read is Comey, Cant, Communicate. This is a super cute, super wholesome manga. It's about a girl who wants to make 100 friends, but she's really, really shy. She doesn't speak a lot. When she speaks, it's very broken. This kid, I forgot his name, but this kid helps her make friends and stuff. It's really wholesome. Super cute, simple art style. Yeah. Next up is an actual book, and that is Cabal by Clive Barker. This was my first Clive Barker book I've read. It's a collection of stories. The main story, Cabal, is what the movie Nightbreed is based on, and Nightbreed is like this race of people that are like different. They're like monsters. In the movie, they look like monsters. In the book, they're just described as like human, kind of. That's what I took it as. And then I'll talk about one other story from this, and that is The Life of Death. It's about a woman who had a hysterectomy, I believe, and she can't give birth, and this guy is like following her everywhere, and yeah, it's actually really good. There's also Lord of Illusions in this, which is also a movie that got made, but yeah, I gave these 2 5 stars. I gave this one 4 stars, just because I didn't like one of the stories in it. It was not my cup of tea. Next up, we have The Drifting Classroom. This is a manga, very big boy. This is about a classroom that just disappears. It gets transported to another world, and the world is like completely barren. And what I think is interesting about this is that instead of it being like high school students that get transported, it's like elementary school students. And it's pretty fucked up. It's like Lord of the Flies. The teachers are pretty awful people. It's really good. I gave it 4 stars just because the art style was kind of hit or miss for me, but it is older. It's an older manga, but it was pretty good. I want to pick up the 2nd and 3rd copy of this since these are just like stunning. Okay, next I read City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. So this book, the first 3 Mortal Instruments books I loved. I thought they were fantastic, they were great, and I felt like the 3rd book just wrapped everything up nicely. There were no really loose ends, it was just perfect. And then she wrote 3 more books in the series. The 4th one was okay. This one, nothing really happened in it. It was just a lot of like filler, setting up this 6th book. I gave it, where is it? 2 stars. I gave it 2 stars. I have a piece of paper with all my ratings written on it because I can't remember. But it was okay, I guess. I read it pretty quickly because the font is pretty big. But I hope the 6th one is better. Next up is another manga, and that is Witch Hat Atelier, maybe? Very beautiful manga. This manga is stunning. It's my new favorite. This is volume 2. I read volume 1 for free on Kindle Unlimited. Such a good manga. It's about this girl who wants to be a witch, and she finds out how witches do their magic, and she ends up accidentally turning her mom to stone, and it's about her trying to fix that. So she becomes an apprentice to this one witch, and it's really wholesome. It's really cute. The art style is just gorgeous. It is so beautiful. It's probably one of my new favorite manga, if I'm being honest. So I read the first one and the second one this month. Did I say 5 stars? This was 5 stars for sure. Next up is Master of Murder by Christopher Pike. I read this originally in 7th grade, and I picked it up at a local bookstore because it was there, and I was like, I want to read this. It's about a kid who is a best-selling author, but he writes under a pseudonym. I think that's what it's called. And he kind of gets tied up with his ex, and she's like, her boyfriend had killed himself, and she was like, I don't think he killed himself. I think someone murdered him. And he asks for the help of Marvin, the writer, and it just kind of goes on to there. I don't know how to explain much more without like spoiling it. But it was really good. I gave it 5 stars. Definitely not for everyone. I know Christopher Pike's writing is very elementary. My cat is right here. And then the last physical book I read was Smashed by Junji Ito. Very good. 5 stars for sure. Creepy stories, collection of stories by Junji Ito. What more to say? Like, I'm pretty sure everyone nowadays, especially the people who watch me, know who Junji Ito is. So it's just a collection of stories. They were good. I read this today, actually. And it had Sweetie, is that how you pronounce it? The kid with the nails in his mouth. Had some stories about him in it, which was pretty sweet. Pretty awesome. So next, I'm going to be talking about the four ebooks I read. The first one was a manga called Happiness. I gave the first volume 4 stars and the second volume 5 stars. It is about this kid who's walking home at night and he gets bitten by a vampire. And the first 2 manga or volumes are kind of about how he's dealing with this and coming to terms with it, I guess. And like, it's pretty good. I liked it a lot. I want to get the 3rd copy, but I can't find it anywhere. But yeah, it was pretty good. Next up is the dragon tattoo. I'll be putting these up here. This is me telling myself to remind myself to do that. It was The Dragon's Tattoo by Roxy Ray. I gave it 4 stars. It's a dragon shifter romance, so like he's human but he can shift into a dragon. And he finds his mate, and the thing is his mate's human and isn't a dragon shifter, and that's like a big no-no. And his mate can't have babies because I think she also had a hysterectomy or whatever it's called. I think that's what it's called. And yeah, it kind of goes on from there. It does get a little adulty, a little spicy. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll read the rest of the series. It was just a one-off read because I didn't feel like picking up a physical book. And then the last book I read was The Dark Carnival, which I gave 3 stars. It is a anthology. My cat is trying to knock over these books. It is an anthology, and it's all based around carnivals and like carnival themed horror. I give it 3 stars because the stories were really hit or miss. There was one about zombies, one about a golem, one really spicy one, but in like a gross way. There was one about like imposters and stuff. Like, it was okay. It was a fun read though. I'll give it that much. But yeah, that is all the books I read this month. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great one.